Hello lovely beaders. Welcome back to my channel. Ready for a project that looks very intricate but is actually a joy to bead? The secret to these amphora earrings is a variation of peyote stitch. You will be amazed how quickly this beautiful 3D shape comes to life. The color of the 8mm fire-polished bead doesn't matter, as it will be hidden inside. Pick any color that blends in with your other beads. To start the first side of the amphora, string 3 bronze Delica beads. Pull down the beads on your thread. Leave a tail that is comfortable to you. Turn back into the first Delica. This creates a triangle with the 3 beads. The second and third beads will sit next to each other. Their holes will point in the same direction. Pick up 2 more bronze Delica beads. Go back through the first 2 Delica beads from the same side your thread is exiting. Your triangle has become an X shape. It has 2 Delicas on each end connected by one in the middle. This next step is optional, but it will make the X shape stable. Go diagonally through one arm of the X. Go back through the other arm. This will keep it firm and prevent it from loosening while you bead the next step. String 2 bronze Delica beads and go through the first bead from the second arm of the X shape. Let's call these 2 beads the corner beads from now on. String an orange bead and go through the bronze bead on the other side. String 2 bronze corner beads on this side too. String the orange bead between the 2 ends. But now you need to step up, so go through 2 beads. Start this new row by stringing the corner beads. For the part where we string the orange beads, we use peyote stitch. So add 1 bead into each of the gaps. You will string 2 orange beads on each side. String the 2 bronze Delica beads for the other corner. And string the orange beads on this side too. Don't forget that you need to step up to start the new row. Start this row with the corner beads. And string the orange beads in peyote stitch on this side. Now you will add 3 orange beads to reach the other corner. Now if you pull your thread tight, you can watch the beadwork bend in the middle. String the corner beads. And string the orange beads on this side too. As you can see, the beadwork is folding in half, bringing the 2 orange sides together. Don't forget the step-up part. This is where you can really see the V shape forming. You could keep beading it flat, but now is the time to pull your thread tight to help it curve. This curve is the beginning of the amphora's body, which we will continue to build. String the corner beads. And string the orange beads on the side. Now you will need 4 orange beads to reach the corner. String the corner beads. And string the 4 orange beads on this side too. Don't forget the step up. Start the next row by stringing the corner beads. And string the orange beads on this side. Now you will add 5 orange beads to each side. This is the final full row for this section. To build the body of the amphora, you will eventually need to make 4 of these identical parts. String the corner beads. And string the orange beads on this side too. The next row will be a partial row, meaning we only bead from one corner to the other. This is because this half row will become one side of a zipper. We will use it to zip this section together with a new amphora section once it is ready. Don't forget to step up. When you have the 5 orange beads on both sides, we will begin the last half row. String only 1 bronze bead on the corner. Instead of orange beads, string a bronze bead into every gap on this side. This creates the border row between the 2 amphora sections. String the last bead on the corner. You can simply cut the thread tail. Thanks to the little trick I showed you at the beginning, we don't need to weave it in. That trick secured our starting row so the beadwork won't come apart. I have already made a second amphora section off camera. So now we can zip the 2 parts together. Place the 2 sections together, bronze row against orange side. You are exiting on the orange side right after the corner bead. Go through the first bronze bead from the second section. Go through the first orange bead from the first section. Continue the zipping by going through the second bronze bead and the second orange bead. Keep repeating this step until you reach the other corner. The zipping technique works just like a real zipper. The beads from one side fit perfectly into the gaps of the other, pulling the 2 pieces together securely. This only works if one side is 1 row shorter. That is exactly why we finished our first piece with that partial row, to prepare for this exact step of connecting the 2 pieces. Now that the 2 sections are zipped together, all that's left is to weave in the thread. Because we used peyote stitch, this is very easy. Just weave your thread back and forth through the beadwork. To make sure it's secure, change your direction at least 3 times before cutting the thread. So half of the amphora's body is now complete. We've made and connected 2 sections. 2 more sections need to be made and zipped together in the same way. I will make those off camera, but I will return to show you the zippings. Now that the 3rd section is finished, I will zip it to the other pieces just like before. I'm doing everything in the exact same way I showed you before, so there are no new tricks here. I am simply zipping that extra bronze row to the orange side of the new piece. I like to go slowly to make sure everything lines up perfectly and the connection is nice and clean. Here's a little secret. You don't have to use 4 sections to build your amphora. Feel free to experiment with 3 sections for a slimmer look, or even 5. I'll show you the 3-sided example right now. Personally, I felt the 4-sided version had the most beautiful classic amphora shape, and that's why I chose it for this tutorial. Weave in your thread, and if you've chosen the 4-sided version, go ahead and bead 1 more section. I finished the 4th section off camera, and now it's time to zip it all together. This time we will need to zip up both sides to completely close the shape. But the first step is exactly the same as before. I'm zipping the bronze row to the orange side of this new piece. While we work on this step, I want to quickly mention that all my tutorials on this channel are shared for free. The best free way to support my work is simply by subscribing to the channel. My goal for this year is to reach the 5,000 subscriber milestone, and every new person brings that goal a little bit closer. If you wish to support the channel even more, You can find links to my patterns and jewelry in the description below. Thank you for being a part of this journey and helping this community grow. I've just zipped up one side of our final section. You can see the 4 parts are connected, but it's not a closed shape yet. So we need to go to the other side of this shape to be in position to start the final zipping. Before we zip up the final side, we have a very important step. We need to add the fire-polished bead to the center. This bead is the hidden support that will hold the walls up and make sure our amphora keeps its shape. I just placed the fire-polished bead on a headpin and put it inside the amphora. We don't need to make the loop yet. Our priority right now is to zip up this last side. You need to do the exact same thing as before. Zip the bronze side to the orange side all the way to the other end of this row. And now you can really start to see the final shape coming together. You can see the sides becoming flat while the corners are staying nice and pointed. This is a good moment to adjust the fire-polished bead inside. Just move it around a little to make sure the tension is even on all sides. Lead your thread to a corner bead and let's close the end of the amphora with some bicone beads. String 1 3mm bicone between each of the corner beads. String the last bicone and go through both the Delica bead and the first bicone. Go through all the bicone beads one more time, skipping the Delicas in between. Be very gentle during this step. Bicone beads have sharp edges that can cut your thread if you pull too hard or too fast. Our goal is to slowly pull them into a tight, closed circle. To make this circle strong and secure, go through all the bicones at least twice. I told you to go around twice, but I think I lost count and went around a little extra. It just means this circle is now extra secure. We need to make this bicone circle on the other side of the amphora too. So lead your thread to the top side. String the 3mm bicone beads between the corner beads. And secure this circle by going through the bicones at least one more time. Don't forget to skip the Delica beads between the bicones. To make the neck of the amphora, you need to exit from a corner Delica bead that is sitting between the bicones. String 4 bronze Delica beads between the corner beads. These beads will form a V shape around the bicones. With the last unit, go through the corner bead and the first 2 beads of the first unit. Your thread should be exiting from the middle of the first unit to begin the final step. String an orange bead and lead your thread to the middle of your second unit. String another orange bead and go through the beads to reach the middle of the third unit. Repeat this step 2 more times. This is the step that gives those units their pointy tips. It's what forms the elegant decorative shape of the amphora's neck. And with that, the beading for the first amphora is complete. All that's left is to weave in the thread. I've shown how to weave in the thread in Peyote stitch several times before, so I will speed through this section and meet you at the final assembly. First, we need to cut the headpin to size. I like to leave about 1 centimeter because I find that's the perfect amount of wire to create a nice clean loop. Then I made the loop on my headpin. My loop turned out a little bit crooked, but luckily that's a very easy fix. You just need a good pair of pliers that won't flatten the loop, and you can gently straighten it out until it's perfectly centered. Open the loop on the earring hook. Slide it through the loop we just made. Close the loop securely, and the earring is finished. And there you have it. Our project is all finished. I really love how this design turned out. Are you inspired to make your own? If you do, please share a picture with me online. I would absolutely love to see it. And that's the end of today's video. If you watched it and liked it, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you for spending time with me. See you next week.